Lounge, and I got two songs to show you. Now, these two songs are like, I don't know, they're pretty personal to me, and you know, a lot of my a lot of my more established songs are very character based, or they don't really have that much meaning behind them. You're like, yeah, there's some cool punchlines and lyrics in there, but And so the theme of today's performance is growth and change. I know that sounds hella corny, but yeah, it's growth and change. And it's November, and I'm a November baby, November 26th. Happy birthday, Mason. Um, and the first song we've got came out last year around this time. Some of you might know it. If you don't, I hope you enjoy it. And this is 21.
When I say my room's a mess, I know you say yours too. Mine's so much worse. I got moldy food, no broken glass, and crushed cigarettes, and a bottle of Bacardi from who knows when. You can count on my hands how many showers I took in the last month, how many meals I ate in the last week, how many days I slept away, cause I'm too busy being unhappy. And I'm sorry to my friends for disappointing them. Say I wanna go out and fall asleep and don't pick up their calls. And I'm sorry to my mama for being stuck with me. I stay up late and still play games and yell when she's trying to sleep. And I'm sorry to my brothers, know they look up to me, but when they see me doing so damn bad, just know it hurts so fucking deep. And I wish I could do better. No, I'm trying to find a way. Say I'm gonna fix all my problems, then I sleep through a whole day. I can barely function, but now I'm 21, I'm not a kid no more. Need to try to get my life straight like everyone else and clean up my bedroom floor. I'm open up, I'm really struggling with the thoughts of all the years I left behind, all the time I wasted, the friends I lost, and all the times I wish I died. I need to shave and lift some weights, cause I don't wanna be that guy that no girl wants to be around on days, cause I'm too shy. I need to learn to cook, I wanna play guitar, I wanna do things with my life, and I've got the time, it's just wasted online, so kick me from the VC. I'm not being dramatic, I should've dropped my first song 3 fucking years ago. It would've blown up early and fallen off. Now the wave is fucking, I live alone, now I live at home and I'm miserable. All I do is moan, need to get a job, cause doing music is keeping me so fucking function. But now I'm 21, I'm not a kid no more. Need to try to get my life straight like everyone else and clean up my damn floor. Open up, I'm really struggling with the thoughts of all the years I left behind, all the time I wasted, the friends I lost, and all the times I wish I died. But now I'm 21, I'm not a kid no more. Need to try to get my life straight like everyone else and clean my goddamn floor. Just another fucking burnout with the thoughts of all the years I left behind, all the time I wasted, the friends I lost, and all the times I wish I died.
Yeah. So that was track 121. There's a couple stumbles here and there. I'm new to the whole live performance thing, but I'm trying my best, guys. And in a in a year, we're gonna see what's changed, because this next song I made very recently, and almost like a sort of part two. And yeah, I don't really know what much else to say about it. It's I wanted to show my evolution both musically and, well, you can call it evolution or devolution, change or lack of change, but whatever it is, we're gonna see what the difference is. And at least, I did make up on one promise from the first song. I did shave, so. Track 2. This is Smile. It's brand new. Unreleased. world debut.
I'm getting older, feel all the weight of my decisions pushing down hard on my shoulder, and it feels like one long hangover, and I can't take it. I don't wanna go on like this. So today I'll get some rest and hope tomorrow might get better. Let's take it 1 week at a time, 'cause every day just gets more time. Keep my head down and I'll be fine. Just try to make it out alive. Try to do something with my life. Get out of bed, I'm tired of crying. Keep myself sober when it's over. Go through life wearing a smile. I feel like a fraud. My list of insecurities too long. Imposter syndrome got me feeling small. If I get interrupted trying to talk, I'd rather not talk at all. Right now, it's sad songs. If I could have some fun, that would be great. I'm stuck in my own thoughts, thinking where I went wrong. Right now, I wish that I was long gone, long gone. But sometimes I can stand this fucking silence. Wish I had a friend, someone I could still confide in. So fucking sick of all the fighting. Battles with myself, there's no winner. I'm getting older, feel all the weight of my decisions pushing down hard on my shoulders. One long hangover and I can't take it. I don't wanna go on like this. And hope tomorrow might get better. 1 week at a time, 'cause every day just gets more time. Keep my head down and I'll be fine. Just try to make it out alive. And with my life, get out of bed, I'm tired of crying. Keep myself sober, so when it's over, I can go through life wearing a smile, wearing a smile.
Brand new, unreleased. You know, I haven't put out a lot of music this year, but that doesn't mean I haven't been making it. And I feel like I haven't really been open, you know, to the people who do listen to my music. A lot of my like close friends know this and stuff like that. But the reason that you know that I haven't been putting out anything is because I've now like kind of gone fully solo. So anyone I was working with before, you know, I still see him from time to time, but there's not as much of a close relationship, and it sucks. But you know, people grow apart, and like, there's not really shit you can do about it. You know, people will go their own ways and stuff. But it's meant that this last year has just kind of been practice. Like, you know, I used to work with someone who would produce for me. Like, I'd give ideas, but you know, they would make the beat, they would engineer it, they would master it. Well, I was just there to write the song and like, you know, sing it. And now that's kind of all fallen into my lap, and it's a little bit terrifying, especially as someone, you know, who still is fairly new to a lot of it. Like, I only downloaded FO like at the start of 2024, and I was just like messing around on there, like making like joke beats and shit. But that's just how it goes, and you know, it's no excuse for the people who are looking forward to new music. There will be new music soon, and that's kind of what I wanted to use this to announce is expect 3 new songs before the end of the year to make up for the fact that I haven't dropped anything since June, and I have only dropped 1 song this year. I know that's a big promise, and I know, you know, I don't have a great track record with keeping my promises of dropping music, but this time, I'm serious. You can hold me to it. 3 new songs before 2026. Yeah, I think I'll give myself a round of applause for that one. Let's get it, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, okay. They said I had the rest of the hour to do, like, whatever I wanted, and I don't really know what I want to do. So what I'm going to do is, in a way to, like, kind of tie it together with the songs that I did, and kind of the differences, you know, between the 2 songs, and seeing the changes I've made in my life over the last literally like exactly a year. I'd like to kind of like go into the songwriting processes of both the songs, and the first song is a. I'll just hold it. I'll put it back down. My bad. Um, yeah, the first song was more about, you know, I tend to like making songs with more sad subject matters over like more energetic and like almost summary like fun instrumentals, because it's just that kind of like flip. And I think that's a thing with a lot of like, hyperpop artists, rappers, musicians, whatever. And I think, I take a lot of influence from the people that came before me, even if it's like, just 2020, 2021, 2022. But it does stretch back all the way to like, the early 2000s, the early like 2010s more. But yeah, with the first song, it does kind of focus more on that like sadness of it, and like, I need to change, but how do I change if I'm so, stuck in this like idea that life is going by way too fast and I'm getting left behind by everyone around me. And over the last year, I've had the pleasure to kind of, interact more with a lot of people who are in somewhat similar situations as I am. Everyone's got their nuances, but like, there's a lot of people who are in their early 20s who like, they think everyone else has it figured out, and no one knows what's going on. No one gets it. And I think that's the most important part, is to just kind of understand that. And, it's not, I'm not saying just sit around and do nothing. Like, make strides, try and work towards something, but give yourself some grace, we're just people. And that kind of is more reflected in the second song, in the sense where in the second song, I kind of wanted to put a more positive spin on the ending of the chorus, especially without, sacrificing kind of the aggression and the emotion that was put into the rest of the lyrics. And so, it's still talking about that, the idea of, aging is scary, and there's so many things in my life that I wish I could control, but I couldn't. And even how it's affected, making music, and the fact that I feel like I can only write sad songs now, just because, over time my music's become a lot more personal. I think a lot of people expect me to be the same kid I was when I dropped Ice King back in, 2023. That song was written in 2022, and like, a lot has happened since then. Like, a lot. And, I'm not on here to give some insight into my personal life, because that's just, so there's a boundary there. But yeah, it's like, a lot's happened, and it sucks to be able to say it, but there won't be another, or there won't be more songs like that by me until I've maybe come to terms with where I am now, and I've got all the angst or emotion or whatever out that I need to get out. And so, yeah, I know that sucks to hear as well. No more Ice Kings, no more, yeah, none of those early songs. I still love them, and, they hold a special place in my heart, but there's a lot more, as I said, like, nuance that goes into kind of the newer stuff I make. And that kind of takes me good onto my next point, because I'm done talking about the kind of meaning of the songs now. Now I want to talk about kind of the general like issues with being an underground artist, I guess, or especially like an alternative underground artist. I feel like there's a lot of people, you know, there's a lot of people here in the UK. Oh yeah, I'm from the UK. I know it doesn't sound like it in my songs, but um, yeah, there's a lot of people, doing music. Music is more accessible, and I wouldn't say easier to make, but it's definitely, those doors to entry have been broken down a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be making music. I'd still be sat writing, poems in my room. But like, there's a there's a kind of thing I want to talk about where it's like, in the UK underground especially, you are very boxed in, and there's UK rappers, there's there's UK singers, there's UK pop, indie rock, everything, stuff like that. But there's a very small community for people doing what I do, I guess, which is kind of that, I hate the name of the genre. I'm not gonna lie. Calling it hyperpop sucks because there is that connotation with it's all about yeah, it's that connotation with people when you hear the word hyperpop, you think about I don't know, like femboys and stuff like that, or no, not even like catboys and very there's a lot of connotations, and there's nothing wrong with that, but feel like it doesn't directly reflect what I create. Like there is that energy behind it, and there is that that rawness behind it, that DIY feel, and I think that's very important for underground music, especially because it is it's showing people you don't need like a label or a professional studio to do what you do. I do everything I do from my room, and there is no exceptions to that. Everything is done in house with an okay mic, cracked FL, and a terrible set of speakers. And so yeah, that's kind of being, especially outside of London as well. It's how far down the ladder are you when you're that far out? And in a sense of you are not around a community of people who are who are even remotely near your genre that your genres that you work in, and so it's kind of caused me to do that branch out into taking elements of different things and putting them into my songs that I enjoy, but that are because I'm surrounded by so many different types of music, instead of being in a community that is just people that make what I make. And there's a good and a bad to that. You don't have as much of a networking path forward. Um, it's definitely a lot harder for people to resonate with the sounds that you're making. Like a lot of people will look at you and kind of scrunch their face, or be like, oh, that that bass frequency was a little too harsh and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, but that's kind of the fun of it. You want to feel that hum in your ears. You want to kind of get that shiver at the back of your teeth sometimes from a song you're listening to. And I feel like a lot of people don't get that, but will still try and support you. Whereas if you're around people who do similar things, they'll understand. They'll be more inclined to to listen to your music and be like, yeah, no, I completely get it. But there is also that thing of why, if you can do it, why can't I? And I know that sounds a little weird, but it's there's a lot more competition when you're around people who do things similar to you. And I wish we could all just have fun, get along, and be friends, but people don't work like that. So yeah, I think that kind of I know I've only been going for 10 minutes or something, but that's kind of all I really have to say, to be honest. I'm a man of few words, uh, and yeah, I'd like to thank everyone here at ACM Studio Lounge for having me, and I really enjoyed getting to play those two songs. Both mean a lot to me, and that second one, getting to play an unreleased track and kind of giving a snippet for the first time in a long time, showing what's kind of ahead for me. And I hope everyone liked it, and if you didn't, all right, have a good night. I've been Tanner. Love you. Mwah.